NFL training camps. The NFL season is upon us. And that Hall of Fame game really just jumps on you at the start of the NFL preseason because it is August 6th. We got the Cardinals and the Panthers. First two teams on the field, first two teams playing a preseason game. So it'll be here before you know it, man. Helmets and pads, and here we go into the season. Now, one of the, we talk about the Rams a lot and, of course, the Chargers and the Raiders. But one of the more interesting storylines is actually the Arizona Cardinals. When you take a look at training camps and all these competitions to see who's going to be the starter, we talk a lot about the quarterbacks. Arizona's got to figure out who their quarterback is to compete with the Rams, the 49ers, of course. I mean, the NFC West, Seattle defending Super Bowl champion. Don't want to leave them out, of course. But that's a brutal division. Well, the reason I bring up the Cardinals is they drafted Jeremiah Love, the star running back from the University of Notre Dame. But just a couple weeks prior, they went out and signed our guy Tyler Algier from Kaiser High School in Fontana, who had a great run with the Atlanta Falcons, even had a 1,000-yard season for them. So when they brought him into Arizona, it kind of looked like Arizona might get a quarterback with that number 3 overall pick in the draft. But no, they went running back, and now it's like, well, do they have too many running backs? And do they have a number 1 QB? They drafted Carson Beck from Miami. I think Jacoby Brissett is there. He's bounced around. So the Arizona Cardinals are a very interesting team to watch with some quarterback and running back battles taking place during training camp.
I think they know they're in the black and blue division, and they got to run that ball to try to gas those defenses somehow, some way. Carson Beck, he just signed for 4 years or whatever. They do need to figure out a lot. But I think we did kind of figure out is you can do a running back by committee thing. You need a lot of backs.
Yeah, here's the other thing too, Patrick, is, you're a football guy. You understand this, that if you run the football, if you can have long, time-consuming drives on offense, that means the other team's offense is not on the field. So if you're playing Matt Stafford in that high-octane Rams offense, or let's say Brock Purdy and the 49ers, and of course I don't want to leave out your Seahawks again, if you don't want the ball in their hands, man. You don't want the ball in Matt Stafford's hands. So if you can run the football, if you have an 8-10 minute drive and just grind it out with 2 running backs and keep your offense on the field, that's not the worst strategy in the world when you look at that NFC West.
I see what they're doing. You know what I mean? You got to bulk up, right? It's kind of like Jordan had to lift weights to beat the Pistons and the Celtics. They got to do the same thing just to survive this division. It's so gnarly, just like you said.
Yeah, and you always see a team in the NFL go from worst to first. It always happens. Each season you have a team that, was terrible the previous year, but they find a way to get to the playoffs in the next year. I doubt it's going to be Arizona, but you never know, I suppose. But I feel like they're at least trying to survive in this NFC West, and they got a guy from Kaiser High School in Fontana, Tyler Algier, who, hey, he got a nice payday, but now he's got Jeremiah Love back there. Maybe that is the best 1-2 running back punch in the NFL.
It is that great time of year where it hasn't started yet, so everyone has hope. Yeah. This could be our year. It's possible.
Everyone feels like that. There's a chance. You're telling me there's a chance. Everyone's 0-0 right now. So, All right. So we're excited about NFL training camps really kicking off this week. The other is the big news that we're still waiting on. We thought maybe we were going to get it. Not yet, as of this Thursday morning at least. LeBron James, formerly of the Lakers. Where will he play next season? It sounds like he will not retire. He is going to play, but where will he play? That's the big question. And Patrick, the Miami Heat, who LeBron played for, what brought him an NBA championship, they actually on YouTube scheduled a YouTube live stream for Monday, this upcoming Monday, July 27th, to introduce LeBron James as the newest member of the Miami Heat, and they quickly deleted it. Now, a guy who does YouTube a lot, I can tell you right now, that does not happen by accident. You have to go in there and manually do that and schedule that live event. So it's not like, somebody hit a button and it popped. No. You have to do that. So they quickly deleted it. But man, I don't know. Either someone let the cat out of the bag or someone was just trying to get some free publicity to talk about the Heat.
Right. So now we're trying to figure out intent, which is always tough, right? It's like you said, you have to do a lot of steps to do that, right? It isn't just the straight up live button. You do have to go through a few things. However, let's say the social media person was training an intern and being like, hey, we won't go all the way through it, but here, I'll show you the steps on how to do it when it does happen. And then, oops, you did accidentally click it. We'll never know.
We might not, man. I mean, if he does go to the Heat, I would love the backstory. Because, again, in YouTube, you can schedule things to be public or unlisted or private. Maybe they went in there and they thought it was private, but it was still on public. They hit schedule. And I mean, who knows? If he does go to Miami, I would love the backstory. And some of these, things that teams do to just garner attention, like let's say a minor league baseball team will say, oh, LeBron's a free agent. Hey, come play baseball for us, and they post something on Instagram and everyone gives it a like and they think it's funny. I don't know if this is one of those kind of things where like, hey, we'll do something funny. People will get a laugh out of it. This is too close to being serious.
Yeah, it's funny. It's a nice little mystery. A little more for us to talk about, right?
Keep LeBron in the news cycle for everybody out there. So we still don't know as of this Thursday morning. And finally, let's talk some baseball, because I don't know if you've been keeping tabs on the Boston Red Sox. I don't normally do it on a day-to-day basis, but they just won 15 games in a row. They tied a franchise record, and we all know the Red Sox are a very long and storied franchise, so they tied a franchise record. But here's what I wanted to point out, Patrick. So the winning streak started on July 3rd and actually started with a win against the LA Angels. And at the time, Boston had 37 wins. The Angels had 36 wins. So they were basically the same team. Well, Boston went from last place into a wild card spot. I mean, I'm not saying like the Angels could do that, but why not the Angels, man? That could have been the Angels going on a 15-game winning streak in, no offense to your Seattle Mariners, a weaker division, man. They could still be in the hunt for a playoff spot, but the Red Sox are doing it in the AL East.
Maybe the key is to fire your manager. They fired Alex Cora, and suddenly it's a spark. Baseball is so weird.
Yeah, and we talked about just getting hot, right? The baseball team that gets hot, especially in the American League. I hope you guys listen to sports every Monday and Thursday morning here on KCAL, because on Monday we were talking about the American League doesn't have a juggernaut, a team to beat out there like Toronto we saw last year, found a path to get to the World Series. Who would be that American League team to presumably play the Dodgers, right? We're just going to pencil them in for the sake of this conversation in the World Series again this year. But who's going to be, the team from the American League? Maybe the Red Sox peaked too early, but dude, Boston's right there in the mix. 15-game winning streak, and they're right back in the hunt for a playoff spot.
Well, somebody better step up, or the Dodgers are going to make history and do the three-peat,
Yeah, they will, and I still feel like they are the favorite, especially if they're healthy. If they're healthy, Tawny's healthy, and it's all good. Yeah, they're like a wrecking ball, man. They're just going to destroy people in the playoffs once again. But, I mean, look, Game 7 against Toronto last year, anything can happen, I suppose, in the playoffs. But in the American League, man, it's just hard to figure out right now who is going to be that team or two to really make a run to the World Series. And now Boston has thrown their hat in the ring and said, hey, don't forget about the Bo Sox. So we're back.
It is a great time of year. Baseball's shaping up. We're on the second half of that. Football's on the horizon. NBA's coming. Man, I love it. Yeah, tell them how to get your stuff. That's why we always catch up.
Hey, you can find my stuff on Inland Sports on X and Instagram and Facebook. We're also on YouTube, and if we're going live, we'll schedule it. You can come to our YouTube channel, and it'll be there. We're not going to delete it like the Miami Heat. You can find it on Inland Sports.
It's not by accident. Thanks, Pat.